All right, the last thing that we are heading before we move away from right triangles and into some other triangles is we're going to talk about area. So, how do you find the area of a right triangle when you're given an angle and a side? Okay, you are pretty familiar with this formula, I hope. Area equals 1/2 base times height for a triangle. So, if you have the two sides, or even if you had any two sides, you could figure out all three using a Pythagorean theorem, right? So, as long as you have two sides, you can find the area without too much trouble. But what do you do when you have an angle? Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to use our trig to figure out, okay, if I know this angle and I know this, I can use that to figure out what this side length is. And then once I know this side length, I can pop everything in here, right? Area is 1/2 base times height. So as long as I know these two sides, I'm good to go. So I'll use my trig, find this missing side, the base side, and then I can pop it into that formula. Okay, so let's take a look. So this first problem right here. So this is the side that I'm missing right now. I'm going to call it B for my base. Okay, and just like we've been doing, I'm going to go through and just label everything. This is my hypotenuse from my 25-degree angle. That's my opposite side. And this is my adjacent side. Okay, so I want to figure out this guy. So I need a trig ratio that involves this side, obviously, and the piece that I know. So I need the adjacent side and the opposite. So which one has opposite and adjacent in it? SOHCAHTOA. Tangent. Okay. So I know that tangent. So the tangent is opposite over adjacent. So the tangent of my 25-degree angle is 18 over my unknown. Okay, here's where that cross multiplying is going to come in handy. I'm going to stick a 1 under this, multiply on my diagonals. Okay, so that's going to give me that b times the tangent of 25 is equal to 18. And then to solve for b, I'm going to divide both sides by that tangent. So b is going to be 18 divided by tangent of 25, which is 38.6. Cool. Okay, so I know that side length now. So now all I have to do to calculate my area is just 1/2 base times height, right? So my area is 1/2 of the base, which is the 38.6, times the height, which is 18. I can just pull that right off of my triangle. Cool, plug that in my calculator. So I'm doing that previous answer and then times 0.5 times 18. So the area of this triangle is 347.4 square somethings. Feet, centimeters, I don't know. All right, there we go. Okay, now let's look at this guy over here. So again, I need a base and a height to find an area. I have the height, I don't have the base. So the first thing that I'm going to do is set this up to figure out this guy right here. Okay, this is my right angle. So here's my hypotenuse. From this angle, this side is opposite. This side's adjacent. Okay, so which trig ratio involves opposite and adjacent? Oh, still tangent. Cool. So then I know that the tangent of my 50-degree angle has to equal b over 12. Okay. So now I'm just going to solve this, right? You can set it up with cross multiplication if you like, if that makes it easier. Multiply on this diagonal. So I'm going to get that b equals 12 times whatever the tangent of 50 is. So 12 times the tangent of 50, which is about 14.3. Lovely. And then to finish it off, I'm going to use my area formula. So area is 1/2 of the base, which is 14.3, times the height, which is 12. Okay, so I'm going to take that answer. I'm multiplying that by 1/2 and by 12. So the area of this triangle is 85.8 squared somethings. And there we go. Okay, so finding area when you're given a side and an angle, not that big of a deal. Use your trig to figure out whatever side you're missing and then calculate it from there. Now, as a side note, it is also possible, and you'll see some in your assignment, where you'll be given a triangle and instead of being given the base or the height, they'll give you the hypotenuse instead. Well, that's just going to mean you're going to have to basically do this twice. You're going to have to use that hypotenuse to find the base and then use the hypotenuse to find the height, and then you can jump over to here. Okay, so it's not too much more.